I used to think stability was something you earned. Work hard, stay disciplined, choose the right partner, stick to the plan. Life rewards you. My name is Adrian Cross, and for most of my early 30s, I believed I had finally pieced together a life that made sense. A good job in software development, a growing savings account, a future that looked predictable in the best way possible. And then, there was her. I met Lena Ward at a technology and pharmaceutical collaboration seminar in Denver. I remember standing backstage, palms sweating, mentally praying the projector wouldn't betray me mid-presentation. Meanwhile, Lena was across the room, speaking to a group of attendees like she owned the entire building. She had that irritating kind of charisma, the kind that made people lean in without even realizing they were doing it. Her confidence was a force. Her presence was a storm. And for reasons I still don't fully understand, I walked right into it willingly. We collided, professionally first, then personally. She teased me for being too serious. I teased her for being too dramatic. We filled each other's cracks in ways that felt natural back then. 3 years later, I asked her to marry me. She said yes with tears in her eyes. I believed they were tears of love. Now I know better. Our early marriage felt like something out of a quiet dream. Weekend cafes, late-night movie marathons, laughing as we built IKEA furniture and nearly divorced over missing screws. She was in corporate communications at a massive pharmaceutical company. Sharp, ambitious, effortlessly climbing the ladder. I was the quieter one, the behind-the-screen guy. But together it felt balanced. Or maybe I just wanted it to feel that way. For a while life was good, simple, warm, predictable. Then came the shift. Not all at once. Just little shadows creeping under doors I didn't know I should have closed. It started with late nights. "We're developing a global rollout," she'd say, tossing her jacket over the chair. "Client dinners, PR campaigns. You know how it is." I didn't know how it was, but I pretended to. The late nights multiplied. Then early mornings appeared. A new gym routine, a new fragrance, a new wardrobe. But the biggest new addition was a name: Caleb Rhodes, a recently hired regional sales director with a reputation, according to her, for being driven, visionary, and a natural leader. I don't remember when his name first appeared, but I remember when it started showing up every day. Caleb said I should pitch this. Caleb thinks I'm wasting my talent. Caleb has ideas I've never considered before. Every time she said his name, it carved something small out of me. But I kept quiet, because that's what trusting husbands do, right? Right. Or maybe that's what naive men do. Soon, her phone became her best friend. She started sleeping with it under her pillow. She'd angle the screen away when I walked by. She smiled at messages she refused to explain. Whenever I asked, she'd sigh dramatically and say, "Adrian, it's work. You're overthinking again." Overthinking, my supposed flaw. Funny how the thing she once called endearing turned into an accusation. The day it happened was a Tuesday, a meaningless day, a day I would have forgotten, if not for what I saw. I left work early, claiming I felt sick. In reality, I was exhausted mentally, emotionally, spiritually. As I drove into our building's underground garage, I saw a black sedan park in the visitor's lane. The passenger door opened, and Lena stepped out. Her hair was tousled, her smile soft, too soft. Then he leaned over, the man behind the wheel, and he kissed her. Not a friendly goodbye, not a quick peck, but a slow, intimate kiss meant for someone who owned a piece of you. She kissed him back. My world didn't break. It froze. There was no dramatic thunder, no cinematic collapse, just a stillness so complete it hurt. My hands trembled as I lifted my phone and recorded it. Not out of revenge, not out of anger, but out of survival. When she came home an hour later, she found me in bed, pretending to be asleep. "Rough day?" she whispered. "Yes," I wanted to say, "but not because of what you think." Instead, I murmured something small and meaningless. She kissed my cheek. Her lips felt cold. The video burned in my pocket. The next morning, I knew I couldn't confront her yet, not until I knew everything. So I did what any man in my position eventually does. I investigated. Hotel charges, restaurant bills, Lyft and Uber rides to unfamiliar addresses, jewelry purchases I never saw. Our joint credit card revealed more truth than she ever would have. Then I sat down at our home computer. I knew the password because we trusted each other, or so I thought. A folder synced from her cloud storage sat in plain sight. Emails, dozens of them, some explicit, some emotional, all devastating. "Being with you feels real. Adrian is reliable, but with you I feel alive. Sometimes I wish I had met you first." Every line was a cut, quiet, precise wound. I stared at the screen for an hour, numb. When the shock faded, cold clarity took its place. I called a divorce lawyer the next morning. She listened calmly, took notes, then said, You have more than enough evidence. Start separating finances immediately. Do not confront her yet. Protect yourself first. So I did. New bank account. Redirected paychecks. Documents scanned. Assets cataloged. I played the role of the loving husband while preparing for the exit she didn't know was coming. But fate had one more twist planned. 3 weeks later, Lena called me home, her voice trembling. Please come back early. I need you. I expected another lie, another excuse, another performance. What I didn't expect was the scene waiting in our living room. She was curled on the couch, crying, clutching a pillow like it was the only thing keeping her afloat. When she looked up, her eyes were swollen. Adrian, her voice cracked. I'm pregnant. The world tilted. Just slightly, but enough. My mind raced. We hadn't been intimate in months, so I asked the only question that mattered. Is it mine? Silence. A long, suffocating silence. Her lips trembled. I don't know. And that was it. The final fracture. The last thread snapping. I exhaled slowly. I already know about you and Caleb. She froze completely, her face drained of color. How? She whispered. I saw everything, and I read the emails. She collapsed forward, sobbing so violently I thought she might pass out. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I made a mistake. I'll end it. I'll fix us. We can do therapy. We can raise this baby together. Please don't leave me, Adrian. Please. Her words felt like bricks being thrown at a wall that was already rubble. There's nothing left to fix, I said quietly. Her tears kept falling, but my heart was done. The next morning, my lawyer filed the first set of papers. I blocked Lena's number, and I walked away from the woman I once believed would be the rest of my life. But walking away didn't mean she let me go. Not even close. Her emails started first. Long letters begging, pleading, promising change. Then guilt trips. Then anger. Then denial. And finally, chaos. She showed up at my office building one afternoon, pregnant belly visible under her coat, mascara streaming down her cheeks like paint being washed by rain. She screamed my name in the lobby. You can't leave me. You can't do this to me. I need you. The baby needs you. People stared. Phones recorded. Security rushed in. I stood there, watching her unravel, feeling something I never thought I'd feel. Pity. A distant, cold kind of pity. But not love. Never again love. Security escorted her out while she sobbed, clutching her stomach dramatically as if she were in physical pain. I watched the doors close behind her, and for the first time in months, I breathed. After the office scene, everything felt strangely quiet. Not peaceful, not comforting, just empty. It's odd how silence can sometimes feel louder than screams. For years, my home carried echoes. Footsteps, arguments, laughter, late-night conversations. Now it was just me and the hum of appliances. No buzzing phone at midnight. No excuses about late meetings. No pretending to sleep when she came home smelling like someone else. The silence was unsettling at first, like stepping into a new world where I didn't speak the language. But slowly, very slowly, I started to breathe differently. I slept deeply for the first time in months. I sat on the couch without bracing for an argument. I cooked dinner for myself without imagining her walking in with her phone glued to her hand. Loneliness and relief fought inside me every day. I didn't know which one I hated more. After the divorce papers were filed, my lawyer advised me to move out. A clean break, she said. No more emotional landmines. I found a small apartment overlooking the river. Not luxurious, not impressive, but stable. Mine. I spent my first night there sitting on the floor, surrounded by half-open boxes and silence. It felt both pathetic and liberating. The next day, I threw myself into improvement. Not because I was inspired, but because I needed something to fight the emptiness. I started running, every morning before sunrise. At first, I could barely go a mile. By the third week, I was pushing 5. I joined a boxing gym. The punching bag became my therapist. Every blow was a word she had lied. Every combination was a memory she had shattered. I reconnected with old friends. Friends Lena never liked. Friends she labeled distractions. They welcomed me back without hesitation. I returned to hobbies I'd abandoned. Photography, travel blogs, books that had dusted over. Slowly, the version of me that existed before Lena resurfaced. And this time, he was stronger. The thing about pain is that it sharpens you. At work, I threw myself into projects with a focus I hadn't felt in years. I stayed late. Not because I was hiding, but because passion returned. My managers noticed. My team leaned on me. And 3 months into my new life, I was promoted to lead systems architect. My CEO congratulated me personally. You were always talented, Adrian, he said. Seems like you finally stepped into it. He didn't know why. He didn't know what losing someone does to a man. But I did. Pain, when channeled correctly, becomes momentum. Through mutual acquaintances, people she didn't realize I still spoke to, I slowly learned about Lena's new reality. And it was brutal. Caleb was transferred to another division in another state. He didn't request her. He didn't fight for her. He didn't even say goodbye. He disappeared so cleanly from her life that even HR couldn't confirm whether he blocked her number or simply changed it. She tried to reach him. Emails, calls, showing up at his office. He ignored her every time. Her reputation at work collapsed. Rumors spread. Whispers floated. People she once stepped on no longer feared her. Pregnant. Alone. Disgraced. Her fall from grace was swift and merciless. And the truth? I didn't laugh. I didn't cheer. I just felt distant, detached, like watching a tragedy unfold through a window. You don't feel joy. You don't feel sorrow. You just watch. I met Arya Hale at one of my friend's birthday gatherings. Quiet, unplanned, unexpected. She wasn't flashy like Lena. She wasn't demanding. She wasn't loud. She was calm, steady, grounded. Her laugh wasn't a performance. Her eyes didn't hide storms. She listened, really listened. At first, I didn't know what to do with someone who wasn't trying to outshine the world. We talked about travel, photography, and music. We laughed about nothing important. We exchanged social media, not numbers. She didn't push. She didn't flirt aggressively. She didn't invade my space. And because of that, she felt safe. We started as friends. Slowly, naturally. She didn't fill a void. She helped me rebuild the part of myself I forgot existed. Just when life started feeling warm again, a folded envelope slid under my apartment door. No name, no return address, just messy handwriting, uneven, shaky. The moment I picked it up, my stomach tightened. I opened it, recognized the handwriting instantly. Lena. Her words poured across the page like a desperate confession. I know I failed you. The baby needs a father. You're the only person who ever loved me. We can fix this. Please, I can change. Then the line that made me sit still for a full minute. The baby is yours. I'm sure of it now. But her certainty didn't matter. The past year had taught me one truth. A child may create responsibility, but it cannot resurrect a broken marriage. I took the letter to my attorney. She read it, sighed, and said, if the child is yours, you'll take responsibility. If it's not, she has no claim to you ever again. Legally simple, emotionally devastating. I walked home that evening feeling hollow. Not angry, not hurt, just done. 2 nights later, Arya and I sat on my balcony overlooking the river. City lights flickered across the water. A soft wind tugged at her hair. She noticed the heaviness in my silence. You okay? She asked. I nodded, then shook my head, then exhaled. Betrayal does something strange to you, I said quietly. It teaches you lessons you never asked for. She looked at me, waiting, not pushing. She had this gentle patience that could melt armor. So what did it teach you? She whispered. I stared at the skyline for a moment, then said, that sometimes losing someone you thought you needed is the only way to find the life you actually deserve. Arya didn't respond with cliches or sympathy. She just put her hand over mine. Steady, warm, grounding. And for the first time, I felt something shift in me. Not the excitement of new love. Not the desperation of loneliness. Something simpler. Peace. Months passed. Lena eventually gave birth. The court requested a paternity test. The results came back. The baby wasn't mine. My lawyer emailed me the result with a single sentence. You are officially free. I sat in my apartment for a long time that night, letting those words settle into places inside me I didn't even know were still tense. Free. Not just from a marriage. Not just from betrayal. But from the version of myself that accepted crumbs and called it love. A year after the divorce, I stood on the same balcony, the city glowing beneath me, Arya curled against my side. I thought about Lena. Not with anger, not with longing, but with distant clarity. She tried to break me. She tried to replace me. She tried to pull me back into her storm. But storms only win if you walk back into them. I tightened my arm around Arya, exhaled, and whispered to myself. She tried to destroy me. Instead, she set me free. Thanks for watching. I'd love to hear your thoughts on this story. Drop a comment below. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more intense tales. See you in the next one.